Welcome, everyone. March 28th, Town of Prescott Valley regular council meeting. Tonight, the invocation will be done by Miss Rabbi Dr. Adele Flotkin. Ma'am?
Boy, I do appreciate a full house here. Honorable Mayor, council members and staff, community members and friends. How nice it is to be appreciated. Not only do you proclaim appreciation for the volunteer and paid folks dedicated to national service today, but also students who excel, and even me. Seems like just yesterday I was here. Even more appreciation you have proclaimed for productive programs to serve to protect and reintegrate those who have been victims of abuse and or violence. So we in turn appreciate your wisdom, your clear view of valuing and respecting the good in the world around us, and your fortitude to carry through to those goals which help this town cherish and preserve all that gives us beauty, dignity, and purpose. May you continue to have these strengths and to cooperate in making hard choices when needed so that you and the community can sustain its people and its environment in the best possible way. May you find the best path for the allocation of resources so that all may be well provided for. Let us all now affirm these heartfelt prayers, each in our own way, as we say, so may it be.
So may it be. Thank you, ma'am. Join us, start us off for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, ma'am.
She is here.
Clerk, will you please call roll?
Mayor Palguda,
Present.
Vice Mayor Nye,
Here.
Councilmember Anderson,
Here.
Councilmember Grossman,
Still here.
Councilmember Mallory,
Here.
Councilmember Schumacher,
Present.
and Councilmember Packard.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to start us off right now with a few proclamations. So, head on down there.
It's good for your voice. And appreciate it.
Oh, boy.
I agree.
The first proclamation we're going to be talking about is National Service Recognition Day. Clerk?
April 2nd, April 2nd, 2019. Whereas service to others is a hallmark of the American character and central to how we meet our challenges, and the nation's cities are increasingly turning to national service and volunteerism as a cost-effective strategy to meet their needs. And whereas AmeriCorps and Senior Corps participants address challenges facing our communities, from educating students for the jobs of the 21st century to fighting the opioid epidemic, to responding to natural disasters, to supporting veterans and military families. And whereas national service expands economic opportunity by creating more sustainable, resilient communities and providing education, career skills, and leadership abilities for those who serve. And AmeriCorps and Senior Corps participants serve in more than 50,000 locations across the country. Whereas national service participants increase the impact of the organizations they serve, both through their direct service and by managing millions of additional volunteers. And national service represents a unique public-private partnership that invests in community solutions to strengthen community impact and increase the return on taxpayer dollars. And whereas national service participants demonstrate the commitment, dedication, and patriotism by making an intensive commitment to service, a commitment that remains with them in their future endeavors. And whereas the Corporation for National and Community Service shares a priority with local leaders nationwide to engage citizens, improve lives, and strengthen communities, and is joined with the National League of Cities, the National Association of Counties, Cities of Service, and local leaders across the country for National Service Recognition Day on April 2nd, 2019. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Palguda, Mayor of Prescott Valley, Arizona, do hereby proclaim April 2nd, 2019 as National Service Recognition Day and encourage residents to recognize the positive impact of national service in our community, to thank those who serve, and to find ways to give back to their communities.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have anyone? Come on down, ladies. Welcome. Would you guys like to say a few words?
Yeah. My name is Molly Peterson, and I serve here in Prescott Valley at Prevent Child Abuse, Arizona. On behalf of Arizona Serve of Prescott College and AmeriCorps members throughout the county, I'd like to take the opportunity to say thank you, Cal Paguda, for recognizing April 2nd as National Service Recognition Day in Prescott Valley.
Hi, I'm Lacey Carlock. I'm also AmeriCorps Vista, serving with West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Foundation. Without the support and acknowledgement of elected officials, the service that AmeriCorps members provide for the community would go unnoticed. Arizona Serve currently supports 28 AmeriCorps and Vista members throughout Yavapai County. Two of these AmeriCorps members, Molly and myself, are serving right here in Prescott Valley with local organizations, West Yavapai Guidance Clinic Center, and Prevent Child Abuse Arizona, working on specific projects to address poverty.
I wanted to share with you that two of the boards I serve on, MAC Force and the West Yavapai Guidance Governance Committee, we couldn't do it without you. We're so grateful for these energetic, thoughtful, caring young people. They make a big difference, and we so very much thank you for that.
Talk to Leah about that. She does those. Get it.
Hang on a second. Councilman Schumacher, you have anything to add?
No, I just appreciate for all your diligence and everything that you do.
Yes, I'd like to add my thanks too. It's important that we start early on in our careers with working to make things better, and we do appreciate that you've seen that need and have stepped up to fill that void. Not everyone does, and I want to thank you personally for doing that.
Yes, I'd like to thank you too and appreciate all that you give to the community. I personally can tell you that I have friends that have very much benefited from the opportunities and the help that you've given. So God bless you guys as you go forward and what we do as a community together. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your service. Everybody knows I volunteer with a whole bunch of different organizations. One of them is Habitat for Humanity. We've had AmeriCorps volunteers and people work for us there, and the amount of enthusiasm and dedication that they bring to the service is really remarkable, and we greatly appreciate it. So thank you for doing what you do, and keep it up.
Ditto. Thank you for what you do. I really appreciate it. Good to see youngsters up. Yep. Compared to me, everybody's young, by the way, so thank you.
One of the things that we hope is that your journey here, you take away your experiences, and you yourselves is benefited as much as you benefit us.
And it truly says a lot when you make the decision that you're going to do something out of the kindness of your heart to make a difference. And for, I'm sure, the majority of the people here that have volunteered, it is so much of a thankless job where people just take it for granted for what you do. And I just want to say thank you. That's awesome.
I just wanted to say that Lacey and I are actually both staying within the community. So thank you for welcoming us into your home so that we can now make it our home, and that it's more of a long-term difference for both of us that we plan on investing in the community for years to come.
Oh, okay.
All right, do we have someone for Start by Believing Day? Come on down, everyone. Clerk?
Start by Believing Day, April 3rd, 2019. Whereas the town of Prescott Valley shares a critical concern for victims of sexual violence and domestic violence and a desire to support the need for justice and healing, and whereas in 2018 the Prescott Valley Police Department received a total of approximately 85 reports of sexual assault, rape, or attempted rape, and 2018 the Yavapai Family Advocacy Center located in Prescott Valley served the needs of 887 victims, including 525 victims of sexual assault or sexual assault, and 272 victims of domestic violence. They provided 657 individual crisis intervention sessions, both in person and on the phone, 741 counseling sessions, 231 forensic interviews, and 35 forensic medical exams and or other proceedings. And whereas current estimates suggest no more than 20% of sexual assaults will be reported to law enforcement and less than 3% will result in the conviction and incarceration of the perpetrator, and whereas research documents that victims are far more likely to disclose their sexual assault to a friend or family member, and when these loved ones respond with doubt, shame, or blame, victims suffer additional negative effects on their physical and psychological well-being. And whereas the Start by Believing public awareness campaign, a program of End Violence Against Women International, is designed to improve the responses of friends, family members, and community professionals so that they can help victims to access supportive resources and engage the criminal justice system. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Cal Palguda, Mayor of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim the town of Prescott Valley's support for the Start by Believing public awareness campaign, and do hereby declare Wednesday, April the 3rd, 2019, as Start by Believing Day in the town of Prescott Valley, and encourage all citizens to support the efforts of this campaign to help victims access the resources needed for justice and healing.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief, you want to introduce who we have up here?
Yeah, good luck. Well, first of all, I want to say something. 887 cases last year seen by WIFAC. If those numbers don't scare you, they should. That's just way too many. And in order to stop the problem of sexual assault, it's a team effort. And I don't think you have a better team anywhere than you do here in Yavapai County. And it starts with Missy Sikora from WIFAC. And then our newest, which I don't remember your name yet. She just started with us. Michaela. And then Marie, Traces, and Bob. And the last four are with our sexual assault response team or our special victims unit. And they work diligently trying to process cases and deal with victims as well. So without them, we couldn't do what we do.
Thank you, sir. Councilman Schumacher?
I just wish that this wasn't a necessity, but knowing that victims they blame themselves as well, and to know that you are there reaching out and helping someone in their greatest time of need, I totally commend you and honor you for providing that for someone who sometimes won't come forward or has a hard time even thinking that it's happened. So thank you guys so much for all you do, and I know it's one of the hardest jobs you could ever take on, so thank you for that.
Well, I can't really add too much more than has been said, but I also want to thank you for what you do. It's a very hard job to deal with, and I'm personally sorry that you have to, but it is a necessary job, unfortunately, and I'm glad that there are people like you that can step up and are willing to do the job, so thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. And it's so important for people in our community to know they have a safe place to go to and someone to call. And you guys are that. And I thank you.
All right, here we go again. I have worked with the Yavapai Family Advocacy Center, so I'm going to take advantage of this moment. The work that they do, if you ever want to take a tour of it, they will allow it. They have continual needs for clothing, diapers. There's a whole list, okay? But I just want to put down on your calendar, I'm going to pull this out of what I was going to say later in comments. And August 17th, we're having our Hope Still Floats event, which is a fundraiser for the Yavapai Family Advocacy Center. And we're looking for businesses to step up. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for people to attend. There's a silent auction there. It's just a great fundraising event. Like I said, I'm going to take advantage of this. You should also know that Yavapai Family Advocacy Center is the only place, I believe it's in Yavapai County, that could do a rape assessment and assault assessment. Not even the hospitals can do it because you need a specially trained nurse, and they have it. So this is a very important aspect of our community, and we do have it here in our community. So thank you.
Yeah, we're very, excuse me, we're very fortunate to have you folks here. I was going to say lucky, but that's not a good term in this case. I believe I've had the nickel tour, haven't I? Yes, that's what I thought. Anyway, I know where you're at, and you can be referred, and you got a good guy over here that can refer it to you. And thank you all for what you do.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure you hear it enough with people saying thank you, and I really wish this number was 0, and no offense that we wouldn't even need you folks. That'd be great, but unfortunately, the world that we live in, that's not possible. So you guys make the best of an awful situation, and I believe, Missy, you and I met many months ago and discussed in length how important what you guys do on a daily basis, 24 hours a day, where you're on call and you come out and you try to make the best of a terrible situation. So thank you, folks.
Okay, team. I too, as Marty was a volunteer before, we had Missy. More than that, I remember when we didn't have this team. Those were dark, dark, difficult days here. As horrible as the numbers are, I can't imagine what they would be if we didn't have you. And having, as you know, Missy, been intricately involved, we just want to wrap each victim up in cotton candy, not just cotton, and protect them and support them and make sure that they have hope. And that's what each one of you do. You give them hope and you give them strength. Hurrah.
I just want to say thank you to the council and the town of Prescott Valley. The center is very privileged to be located in this community, and we feel such love and support from the town of Prescott Valley and the Prescott Valley Police Department, and it allows us to provide, in my opinion, the best quality of care to the victims from all over the county, and it's a great central location. In honor of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, next Wednesday, the April 3rd, we will be having the No More event. It's a community event to speak out against sexual assault. It will be at Yavapai College campus in Prescott from 5:30 to 7, and we would love to see as many, or I'm sorry, from 5 to 6:30. We would love to see people attend that and help us march and speak out. We'll have some great, wonderful speakers. Yes, there is a march afterwards, and it's wonderful.
Nice walk.
Big lighted batons. Yeah, it's great. Hang it on the wall proudly.
All right, ladies. National Library Week.
I know.
Casey, you just about ran up here.
I know. Casey's excited.
Last night.
Very good. Hey, Larry, good job.
Ladies and Larry.
I know.
Clerk, go ahead and read the proclamation, please.
National Library Week, April 7th through 13th, 2019. Whereas libraries are not just about books, but what they do for and with people. Libraries are at the heart of cities, towns, schools, and campuses, and have long served as trusted and treasured institutions where people of all backgrounds can be together and connect. Whereas libraries and librarians build strong communities through transformative services, programs, and expertise, they promote the free exchange of information and ideas for all, are cornerstones of democracy, and provide civic engagement for keeping people informed and aware of community events and issues. Whereas librarians and library workers partner with other civic organizations to make sure their community needs are met, they empower their communities to make informed decisions by providing free access to information. And whereas libraries are a resource for all members of the community, regardless of race, ethnicity, creed, ability, sexual orientation, gender identity, or socioeconomic status, and offer services and educational resources that transform lives and strengthen communities. Whereas libraries, librarians, library workers, and supporters across America are celebrating National Library Week, now therefore be it resolved that I, Cal Balcuda, Mayor of the town of Prescott Valley, do hereby proclaim April 7 through 13, 2019 as National Library Week, and encourage all of our residents to visit the library this week to explore what is new at your library.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll just start on off with, would you like to say something first?
Say something first. I just want to say how important our library has been in just recently in this last year to this community. We're reaching out to different departments in the town, schools, other government agencies to find out what the needs are in the community, and we found out a lot of amazing things. So some of the services that we're going to start to offer are going to be changing and adapting and helping the people that really need our help the best. And as somebody in the town said, that we are a social service, but we're an amazing social service that offers education and we're a knowledge resource for everybody here in the community, and we're a trusted resource of knowledge. So that is, it's a great, this building is great, the support that we received here is great also. Oh, Sundays, we're open on Sundays, 1 to 5, and we continue to be busier every Sunday. So it is amazing that we're able to offer this service now. We need more staff. Oh, yes. And, of course, Kathy Derry is our Library Board Trustee President. Larry Martin is also on the Library Board of Trustees. Tess Willis is the most amazing administrative assistant in the entire face of this world. Jocelyn Joseph is a library manager here at Prescott Valley, and she's my super strong support. So, Bobby Caron's not here. He's awful.
Just kidding. Yeah, we'll mix it up. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. Councilman Packard?
Yes, glad to see you guys here. Now, I have not used you yet, and I've got a Kindle that I want to get I know I keep getting told to get down there, but but really, really, we appreciate it. You guys got a good outfit going over there. Really, really appreciate it very much.
No, I do not volunteer with the library.
We can change that.
We'll give it time.
But I do take out a lot of books here. I'm part of a book club, so it's a constant thing. The services that are provided here at the library go, like it says, beyond books. We have the computers. We have people filling out resumes on a daily basis. They have a beautiful CD and DVD collection that you could borrow. And they also have meeting rooms that your organization or friends could use for whatever use there is. And it's just a great program. If you haven't been down to the library, Dawn, you really should come down here. Take out a library card. It's you will not be sorry. Thank you.
My turn. You know, on here I noticed it said, come and check out and see what's new at the library. Well, I'm here to tell you that this group has got something new, guarantee you, every other day. I have never seen such energy before, and I love it because your creativity brings more and more people in. You address all types of generations, needs, desires, and it's fabulous. So keep up the great work. We love our library. We love our librarians.
You have a great facility. You have many amenities to offer, but it's your attitude that keeps people coming back in here. And that's prevalent throughout every employee, every volunteer, everybody that's in here, the board, everybody involved in the library has a terrific attitude. And it shows and it keeps people coming back. So thank you very much.
I just think of how many libraries I've been in my lifetime, and I am so amazed by what Prescott Valley offers. To go in knowing that we have a recording studio in our library is amazing to me. The 3D printers that are available to anyone, and you can come in and try them out. So just the thought that this is for all of us as citizens, and everyone here can go to our library, Dawn. So it's an amazing place of knowledge, and the thought that we have the ability to read, my heart breaks when I hear that illiteracy still goes on in this day, and how many people don't have the privilege of finding the knowledge when they need it. And to me, books are an amazing opening to anything you want to do in life, anything you want to learn. It's in our library. So thank you guys for all your hard work.
I have designated myself unofficially the godmother of the library, and all of you know that. Every year I take this opportunity to say, I've always wanted to create a point of pride program for Prescott Valley, and you're top of my list.
We talk about what people judge a town by, and the library is got to be at the top of the list. And when people judge Prescott Valley and they recognize our library, it's a reflection on the entire town, and that's so important. I was earlier this week at the Humboldt Unified School District Teacher of the Year Award. And seated at my table was a gentleman who says he travels around the country, and he goes to coffee shops because he works remotely, and he needs the internet. And he goes to coffee shops and libraries all throughout the country. And he said, hands down, he wasn't exaggerating, and he wasn't just trying to make me feel good. He said Prescott Valley has probably one of the top 5 libraries he's ever been to throughout the entire country. And that right there is, it's amazing. And for that, I applaud you. So thank you for all you guys do.
Picture. Let's do picture. Come on. Let's do it. Oh, we have no picture. I don't need a picture. Here, got it? Somebody's got to have a cell phone. Sorry, Brian.
finishing it up, Chamber of Commerce, 45th anniversary. Come on down. Clerk, go ahead and read the proclamation, please.
Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce 45th anniversary, 1974 to 2019. Whereas the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce was originally founded in 1974 as the Prescott Valley Businessmen's Association, Inc., and whereas in 1976 the name was changed to the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce to better represent business and the community of Prescott Valley. And whereas the Chamber's mission is to strengthen the region's economy by improving the quality of life and promoting their members' success, and whereas the Chamber has grown under the leadership of the many outstanding individuals who have served on the Board of Directors, its committees, and as its executive directors and president CEO, and whereas the Chamber has developed many partnerships and relationships to better serve the businesses and organizations of Prescott Valley in order to maximize the member benefits and its community involvement. And whereas the Chamber is celebrating 45 years of serving as the catalyst for business and community growth, the conveyor of leaders and influencers working together for a strong business climate, and the champion for business and community promotion, support, and advocacy in Prescott Valley. And whereas the Chamber will celebrate and recognize its 45th anniversary year with ongoing activities, special programs, and events through 2019. Now, therefore, I, Cal Palguda, Mayor of the town of Prescott Valley, do hereby join in recognizing and congratulating the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce in its celebration of 45 years of outstanding and dynamic leadership for the businesses and community, and do further acknowledge, commend, and enthusiastically support the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce in its mission and vision for economic prosperity and community leadership and support for years to come.
Keep in mind, we are on a time schedule, okay? Because I know how much you like to talk, okay? So just keep that in mind.
Gosh, that was a nice morning. No, I stand up here with leaders, staff, and volunteers that make the Chamber what it is in the community. So while I have the privilege of serving as its CEO and kind of being the noise and face of the Chamber, it's actually the people behind me that are the heartbeat. So I would like to give them the opportunity to please introduce themselves and their position with the Chamber, and that they are acknowledged, because they really are, make my job easy and very special to be a part of this community and this Chamber. So we'll start with Chris.
Chris Graff, I'm the chairman of the Prescott Valley Chamber, and just fortunate that it happened on the 45th year, so it's really great. So thank you, community, for supporting us. Thank you, town of Prescott Valley, for all your support. We certainly appreciate it.
Chris was 2 years old. My name is Kevin Ray. I'm the chair-elect, so I will take over when Chris leaves. I'm the store manager of the Walmart here in town as well.
Hello, Erin Vriedeveld. I am the past chair of the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I set the stage for Chris, and owner of Canyon Physical Therapy and Aquatic Rehab. Thank you, town of Prescott Valley, for your support.
She's a little tall. I'm Gloria Gross, the Operations and Events Manager for the Chamber. I help organize all the events and keep everything running behind the scenes.
Bill Gross, I'm office assistant, and I take care of the visitor center. All the new people that are coming in looking for a place to live, I sure try and encourage them to come here.
I'm Debbie Williams. I'm an ambassador for the Chamber of Commerce, so I get to be at all the ribbon cuttings and welcome our new businesses. I'm also a volunteer, and I will tell you, these people behind me have given me the pleasure to be a part of them, and I couldn't do it without them. Thank you.
Nice.
I just appreciate everything that the Chamber does, and I know as a former business owner how important it is to be a member, so I really appreciate all your hard work and efforts and everything you do.
Well, those that know me might think that I'm a little bit biased towards the chamber since I've been a proud member for 17 years. I'm also a former member of the board of directors of the chamber, and I was chair-elect at one point before I came on the town council. So I welcome you all here tonight, and thank you for everything you do to represent our town. You've done a great job. You make my job very easy. So thank you very much.
Just thank you guys. I've done a lot of things with all of you throughout the community, and you are definitely the cheerleaders for the town of Prescott Valley. And we just love all of you and appreciate it. Thank you.
Here we go. Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? Anyway, I go to as many chamber events as I possibly can. I go to as many ribbon cuttings as possible, depending on my schedule. And it's important to recognize the new businesses that come here. Once a month, the chamber brings in the new businesses that are here, and we promote them as much as we can. If I speak to somebody who is new here and they don't know about the chamber and they have a business, I talk it up really big, and I promote it. So it's an important organization to have in our community, and the amount of work that they do, I know many of you don't see it, but I do. And it's really appreciated by everybody here. You know, the business community would not be what it is without the chamber as active as it is. So thank you.
Both my wife and I, we've been members, individual members for, I don't know, a long time. Anyway, I appreciate you all. And Bill, I used that plumber you recommended the other day, and primo, it worked out. That's what they're here for, folks. If you need anything, give these folks a call. They got a list, and it's great, and I'm glad to see it. Thank you all.
Well, I have a very unique opportunity. I'm the chair of the Northern Arizona Council of Governments, and that means I travel literally all over Arizona to represent Prescott Valley. And let me tell you, this group has a reputation nearly everywhere they go, and if they aren't already known, I tell them all about it.
I've done quite a bit of traveling.
Chris wanted me to mention that the chamber's older than I am here in Prescott Valley. So, but Marty, you wear a variety of hats, and one of the hats, which I say is one of the most important ones we have here, is she's the biggest cheerleader for the town of Prescott Valley. And that is so important. I think we also have the second biggest cheerleader sitting to my right as well. But that is so huge when it comes to just new businesses and new people that come in. And Bill, I know I've come in there numerous times, and other people have come in, and the way you greet them and you talk to them, and you get them excited about Prescott Valley. And that's important. That's what it's all about. So what you guys do behind the scenes is amazing. So thank you.
In the middle, and we got Ryan doing it. There you go. Right there?
Photo bomb, Chris.
I feel you, Larry.
He's going to be poking.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. We're going to change it up a little bit, so Aisha, just hang on a few more minutes, okay? We're going to invite Lee Smith up here for a certificate of appreciation. Here comes Fernando. Clerk.
Lee Smith came to us in 2014 with over 20 years' experience in code enforcement and rental housing inspector from Kansas. While in Kansas, he had the opportunity to work for the number of jurisdictions like Marion, Lawrence, and Kansas City, where he gained the knowledge and experience that we benefit from today. Lee holds certifications as a zoning inspector and property maintenance and housing inspector. His professional skills and many years of experience are contributing factors to his successful career in code enforcement. Lee has a great future with the town of Prescott Valley, and we thank him for his dedication to his craft and the community. Congratulations, Lee.
Thank you. Councilman Schumacher.
Just thank you so much for your years of service, and you've worked here as long as I've been here, so that's awesome. Thank you.
I always feel that we're fortunate when we get so many great people show up with so much experience and are willing to step up and work for our town and add so much to our town. And I want to thank you for doing that, and I hope you're here for a lot longer. Thank you very much, Lee.
I realize you have a hard job going out there and dealing with a lot of different issues. So thank you very much for what you do. Your experience is priceless, and we look forward to celebrating with you at least go on to another 25 years. Thank you.
Well, congratulations on 5 years. That's always a good start in your career. But you've had so much years experience, I figure we hopefully have you for another 5 or 10. That would be a huge bonus for us, to bring that amount of experience to the job. So keep doing what you're doing, and we appreciate what you do because, as Mary said, that department, it's not an easy job. I'm glad you're doing it and not me.
Yeah, thank you, Lee, for what you do. And your boss just said 10 years, so you got to stick around. But anyway, you guys have a tough job. You're not the most popular people there are out here. So we appreciate you and keep up the good work.
Well, Lee, we've all acknowledged how difficult your job is. I wouldn't want to live here without that job. And I want to compliment you for the quality that you bring to that job. A little perseverance is often needed, and I watch you hang in there. You don't even know that some of us are watching you, do you, Lee? You probably found that out for the first time tonight. But when you go out there into the community and interact with our residents, know that we're all supporting you. Every single one of us.
Thank you. Lee, you have probably one of the most thankless jobs there are out there, where you interact with people and they may not be excited to see you, but the people that you don't hear from are the ones that thank you, because what you guys do down there is so important for the town of Prescott Valley and the visitors and those that live here. So for that, I thank you. And I mentioned something. I leaned over and asked if you were a Kansas City Chiefs fan. My wife is a huge fan, so there's not many of them out there. So I'm sure she'd be excited to see that. So thank you. Fernando, do you want to say something?
I do. Thank you. I just wanted to be here and show my support to Lee and appreciate, all he's done every day and all his help.
And Lee, you get to say something too.
I would just like to say that it's been great working here for the town of Prescott Valley. After I decided to move out here and join my fiance at that time and eventually my wife, and to see Kevin kind of stick around, he gave me my first job when I moved here over at Walmart. And from there, I went back to what I naturally have done for quite a few years. I would like to thank Fernando, my supervisor. If he wasn't my supervisor, I probably wouldn't have stuck around because he's really a pleasure and a joy to work with. I'd like to thank Richard Parker, the Director of Community Development. Richard keeps it light and lively, as you all probably already know. But I really would like to thank our admin staff, Vicki, Christy, and Carrie. They do a lot of paperwork for me. They keep me out of a lot of trouble. They hear me when I kind of complain. They cheer me up. They tell me it's going to be all right. They've kind of got a plan that we're all going to go out together, feet first, at about 87 years or so. But I do want to say that it is a pleasure serving this community and watching it grow. One of my jobs was in Lawrence, Kansas, and I was there for about 9 years. And I watched that community double. And it was really a joy to watch the growth of the community residentially and also commercial-wise. And I hope as this community continues to grow that we do the things that are necessary to actually have even a better community than we already have. And in the words of the library director, we need more staff.
Nicely done, sir.
Thank you.
At this time, I invite Aisha, come on up. This is your time. Councilman Grossman.
Good evening. This is always a fun time in the month when we get to honor one of our youth in the community. The Optimist Club of Yavapai County works in collaboration with Bradshaw Mountain High School and the town of Prescott Valley. And tonight we are honoring the outstanding student for March, Aisha Ramirez. This honor is being presented because of the nomination and recommendation of her school staff and instructors at Bradshaw Mountain High School. This is not something that comes from the students. Okay. Now, we always ask the student to write a biography for themselves, that the part of them that they want us to share. And Aisha is an incredible person, and I've spoken to Principal Court Minor about this, and he agrees. So I'm going to touch on some of these, but I'm going to let him really go into the detail about Aisha to tell you what kind of a person she really is. She's going to be graduating this May. Okay, she's the first person in her family to go to college. This year she has straight A's, which is the first time in her life she's probably had that. Okay, from what I understand, she's an exceptional artist. She mentions that in senior year is where she met some of her best friends. I'll let her, when it's her turn to talk, to say something about that. Let's see. One of her things that she mentions in her bio is that it's important for her to make her parents proud. And that's very important to her. Okay? She grew up in a bad neighborhood, but I'll let Court go through a lot of that in her background. And she now coaches Little League because she's too old to play in the Little League, but she does help out in coaching. So it's once again, we have somebody who the staff recognizes as not only someone who might be, it's not totally academically, it's what they do for the school and what they're able to do in the community. And there is no checklist of what they have to do in order to achieve and become nominated as Student of the Month. And after Principal Court Minor tells you about her, you will understand how special this person is. So at this point, I'd like to introduce Court Minor.
Thank you, Councilmember Grossman, Mayor Palguda, Vice Mayor Nye, council members, distinguished guests. My name is Court Minor, I'm the proud principal at Bradshaw Mountain High School. And go Bears. And this is a different one. I'm so proud of my staff, and Marty alluded to it. The Student of the Month is not picked by myself or administration. It's picked by the staff. And at Bradsham Mountain High School right now, I have about 260 seniors that have a higher GPA than Aisha. So why did my staff recognize her? Because they've recognized her, she was a little squirrely her freshman year, but they've recognized over the last year and a half how much she's grown and how much confidence she's getting in herself. I don't believe her freshman, sophomore year you could have said, "Are you going to be going to college?" She would probably have said, "No." Thank you, thinking. But no, she has grown, is an incredible artist, and my staff has recognized her confidence. And my staff has recognized how she's finally coming to ourselves. Now, we all wish that the kids walk in their freshman year and understand what they're going to do and what they need to do. But guess what? It takes a village to raise a child, and sometimes it takes a year or 2 or 3, all right, before they find themselves. And I'm so proud of Aisha because she has found herself, and she's going to be heading off to college next year. And as Marty mentioned as well, straight A's, this semester. She's just knocking it out of the park. She's believing in herself. She's developing that confidence, and she's going to make her family as well as the staff of Bradsham Mountain High School very proud. So it's my honor to introduce our Student of the Month, Aisha Ramirez.
But before that, I'd like to bring Butch Miller up. He's with the Optimist Club of Yavapai County, and he's going to be making a presentation to Aisha. So come on up.
Aisha, after about some 40 years as a school teacher, administrator, counselor, I'm always very pleased to have an opportunity to recognize outstanding young people. And listening to Court talk about you and how you developed over the years reminds me of a young man that I had, that he was constantly in my office. He was constantly in trouble for his freshman year, his sophomore year, his junior year, and then his senior year. It was my job to try to get him to graduate. So I put him in the easiest classes I could put him in. He came in the first day of school and says, I don't want to be in these classes. I want to take advanced placement this. I want to take honors this. I want to do this. And I looked at him and I said, Zaid, there's no way you can graduate if you do that. He ended up straight A's his senior year, getting accepted to George Washington University. And nobody thought that he would even graduate. So congratulations on what you've done. And it's my pleasure to recognize you as this month's Student of the Month at Bradsham Mountain High School. Certificate. This is a little Optimist paperweight that you can use when you go off to college to keep those papers on your desk.
Yes.
And again, congratulations. Yeah.
Okay, so my name's Aisha. I'm a senior at Bradshaw, and I first want to thank Minor, of course, because without Minor pushing me and getting me to senior year and helping me and guiding me and just making the best 4 years of my life in high school. So thank you, Mr. Minor, for helping me get through it. And of course, I'd like to thank my art teacher, Miss Hyatt, because without her in my life and helping me push me through art and helping me get through hard times, because she's always there. She's always been a role model to me and helping me get through life through my art and helping me express myself through art. And of course, my lovely parents, I love them, and thank you for the endless opportunities that you guys have offered me and my hardworking dad and moving me here to this wonderful town of Prescott Valley that I love so much. And without him, I wouldn't be here today. I would be stuck in a bad neighborhood and doing bad stuff. And so I'm thankful for you guys helping me get here and helping me push through all what life has to throw me. So thank you so much. And of course, I'd like to thank the town of Prescott Valley for helping me get through everything, and the Optimist Club. Thank you so much for honoring me and showing me and just helping me get through, helping with all my art. So I want to thank you guys.
Please bring up your parents and your family and
Mom,
introduce
Dad.
them to us.
Sir, I see you tearing up a little bit, and I'm sure it's not because of the allergies. So congratulations to you guys.
So this little man is my little brother. Without him, I wouldn't be the woman I am today, helping me push through life and just getting on my nerves all the time. So this is the one I got to thank the most, and thank you for loving me, and I love you, Bubs.
Love you. I do have to say, he reminds you a lot of Aisha when she was younger.
Yeah, it's crazy. And of course, this lovely lady is my mother, and I love her to death, and she's my biggest role model, and I love her with all my heart. And thank you so much for helping me get through life. And this man is my dad, and I love him with all my heart. And thank you for raising me. It's so wonderful.
Thank you for making us proud parents, and we love you, Aisha. You've worked so hard and done so much. You're just going to be great. Love you.
Thank you, Dad. Love you. And this is Corey, of course. I love her. She's a new member of our family. She works with my dad. And I just love her. We're the same person, just two different people. And I love her so much. And she wears orange, so
it's okay.
It's okay.
Orange.
She wears orange.
Okay.
I love her. So this is Corey. My family.
And that's this month's Student of the Month. You want to take a picture, Ryan? Good job. Thank you.
Aisha, hold on a second.
Aisha, we are so lucky to have you as part of our community. We just want to honor you, and I'm going to send out all of these positive vibes for you to take forward.
Nicely done, Aisha. You should be proud. All right, we're going to be moving on to item number 8, council comments.
A few weeks ago, we had an event. We had a 2-foot event of snow. And Norm is back there. He can help me with this. He put together a snow response team. And when we recognized him at our meeting weeks ago, I mentioned then that there was a little gift that was being put together to get them that Norm's department managed. And I asked them to come back so we could give it to them. Well, instead, Norm made sure they had a big barbecue. And Kendall and I were lucky enough to go to that barbecue. And we loved being there with these guys, these big, tough guys. And I want to read what the shirt says. Snow Response Team, unique as snowflakes. February 2019, 2 feet, no problem.
They're an amazing group of people that responded when our town needed it most, and I know Larry was involved as well, and we just want to say thank you to the way all of this crew stepped up to do the job that they did. It was amazing. Thank you.
Councilman Anderson, anything non-snow related?
Yeah, we're done with the snow.
You know I do.
Of course you do.
Okay, First of all, Tuesday night, Kel mentioned it earlier, but Kel and I both attended the Teacher of the Year dinner. The two winners were Mr. Shiner and Mr. Kapka. There's one for K to 6, and there's another one from 7 to 12. We had a full house. I mean, there had to be 300-400 people in the room easily, and it was made up of students, business members, sponsors. It was well attended. We had a lot of sponsors this year. We raised a lot of money that will be used for scholarships and other school functions. So just wanted to let everybody know that exists. There'll be another one next year. Okay. Let's see. April 28th, a Sunday, we have the Prescott Valley Police Foundation has their golf tournament and ball drop. You can get the information at the Facebook page for the Prescott Valley Police Foundation and their website. I know coming up, I know the Chamber was on it earlier, May 4th, they have Team Up to clean up. So if you want to form a team and clean up a street in Prescott Valley, in the morning they have a little casual breakfast. They give you your assignments. You get a T-shirt out of it, and later on you can come back and the fire department serves hot dogs, hamburgers, pizza. So they'll be there to help out. They usually have a couple of fire trucks there. So that's always a good thing for the kids. I already told you about Hope Still Floats. And just a couple of car shows are coming up. One is May 18th. It's taking place at the Stone Ridge parking lot. It's going to take place from 1 to 5. They're going to have live music and other things. Now, both of these car shows that I'm going to talk about, they all are affiliated with as a fundraiser for one of the local charities. So it's going to be a good time, but it's also going to serve a purpose. And then there's another car show at on the July. Damn, I didn't write the date down. Oh well, it's in July, and it's going to be at the Walmart parking lot from 8 to 2. And next meeting, I'll have the dates. And that's all I got for now.
Great. All right, moving on. Consent agenda, item 9. All matters listed under consent agenda are considered routine by the town council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately for discussion and possible action. Item A, approving the March 14, 2019 council minutes. Item B, approving department reports. Item C, accounts payable. Item D, monthly financial report. Item E, approving the amendments to the Prescott Valley Public Library Board of Trustees bylaws. Item F, approving the fireworks display contract with Raymond Pyrotechnics, any pyro for the 4th of July celebration for a total of $30,000. And item G, approving a Series 12 restaurant liquor license, application number 51618 for Mod Pizza, located on 3015 North Glassford Hill Road, Prescott Valley. Andrea D. Lekowitz is the applicant.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the consent agenda as a whole by electronic vote.
I'd like to second it.
Clerk, will you please call the vote?
Councilmember Schumacher, how do you wish to vote?
Aye, yes.
Councilmember Packard, thank you. He wishes to vote positive, too. That's unanimous, Mayor. Passes.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to item 10, new business. Item A, consideration of authorizing the mayor to approve the radio maintenance intergovernmental agreement with CAFMA in the amount of $53,000 for fiscal year 2019 and 20. Chief?
Evening, Mayor, Council. This was brought to you back on March 7th at a work study. I think we've talked about radio problems ad nauseum. This is a great agreement, and we're asking for your approval to enter into this agreement with CAFMA. If you have any questions, I have all the experts here tonight that we're working on this project.
Are they going to feel bad if we don't ask questions?
No, I don't think they will.
Any questions? Comments?
How about a motion? We ready?
I'll second that.
She's got to read it first.
I'd like to make the motion to authorize the mayor, or in his absence, the vice mayor, to approve the radio maintenance intergovernmental agreement with CAFMA in the amount of $53,000 for fiscal year 2019 and 20.
Now can we have a second? Clerk, can you please call the vote?
You just lost her.
Councilmember Schumacher, how do you wish to vote?
Vote yes.
Thank you. It passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank
Chief.
you, the police department. Thanks, all of you.
Item B, consideration of approving the purchase of playground equipment from Play It Safe Playgrounds via Mojave contract number 14X Play PLAY-0220, quote number 7438 in the amount of $178,506.03. Mr. Whitty.
See a swimming pool.
There are no swimming pools in playgrounds, Marty. All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm very pleased to be with you tonight on such a wonderful occasion in regards to reviewing this project. Does my heart good from the standpoint of we've had numerous voices of input throughout this project. Parents with children specifically desiring this opportunity, professionals in the field, as well as leaders in our community that have all joined with us, either in individual comments, surveys through the town website, comments also through our Facebook engagements that we've had on our social media platforms, providing us with a variety of different input, recommendations in regards to the development of this site. I think it is an extremely well-versed site, compliments of Jim and his team over at Play It Safe Playgrounds. He is with us this evening if you would like to engage in more conversation and dialogue with him. But I think ultimately with this playground, it's going to encourage both the enable both the disabled and the non-disabled children to engage in a wonderful world of play and discovery with each other. Specifically, we're going to be meeting the needs of the children who use wheelchairs, have autism or sight impaired through the development of this project. And the nice part about this is there are no special needs sections because this equipment is designed to challenge all children without segregation or stigmatization. So we're very excited about this projects. So after several months of review, staff engaging with commissions, community members in large, we're very excited to be able to present this project to you. We're looking at an approximate 90-day construction process. This will be one of several items that will be coming forward to you into the near future. But this has some extreme lead times to it for some of its specialities that will be presented. And I have a small presentation. This first slide designates the location within our project, and I know Mrs. Smith was here with you last week talking about the different phases of development that are happening in the Unit 6 park area there in Granville off of Glassford Hill and Santa Fe Loop. So the bright yellow box will demonstrate the location of the playground. I've handed off to you some large-scale renderings of this project, but these are images for visitors here with us tonight and online. They'll be able to get a good understanding visually of what this playground will entail. It has a number of different components. Some of the major components is accessibility to all the different playground elements. The blue sections, this is what is termed as a pour-in-place rubber product. This is a stabilized surface area for those that are wheelchair bound or having challenges with other walking aid devices. We'll be able to provide them with greater access to these various different components. As well as then, as you know, in a variety of our different neighborhood playgrounds, we also have the engineered wood fibers. So this will be a combination site with those two different products as it relates to accessibility as well as safety surfacing for our young people and our caregivers in this particular instance. This is another vantage point we'll be able to look at. This one highlights our shade structure that's a built-in component of this particular play unit. That was a strong element of input gathered through our community members. The other exciting components to this is just simply from the fact that it's ramped access to the playground unit, as well as then access to all the different play elements that will be taking place here. There are a lot of interactive components in regards to those that may be challenged and from providing signing. They'll be able to go to a panel and indicate what their signing means, so they'll be able to communicate back and forth, so a lot of education and development through that process. Those young people that do not have a voice, in other words, unable to speak or may have limitations in regards to how they're able to communicate. We're specially designing a board that will go into this particular play unit, so they'll be able to communicate by pointing to pictures, saying like if they wanted to go swing or if they're looking for X or Y on the particular playground unit, they'll be able to communicate in that fashion. That is a new tool that's out there, and Jim and his team will be working with us in regards to that design as well. So a lot of this is happening at ground level. You'll be able to go throughout the entirety of the playground unit. There's particular elements that allow children to be able to transfer, again, from their wheeled devices or mobility devices that they have that will allow them to be able to roll throughout. One of those components is located here in the center on the lower projection, in which they will be able to manipulate themselves through the play units. You heard Mrs. Smith indicate last week where there are some quiet areas, but also there are some musical areas. They are separated across the span of the entire playground area, so there's a lot of integration there from a developmental standpoint, as well as also that safe or quiet space to be able to recoup a little bit through their engagements of opportunity here. So very excited about all the different play, all of this interaction that'll be able to happen on a variety of different levels. As we saw here on our main slide, it's located very close, so the accessibility to the site is very good. It's directly connected with all of our other elements of the park, whether that be our ramada, our restrooms, or our pickleball courts, as well as our walking paths throughout the program. So with that being said, I highly encourage you to give this project a very strong consideration so that we can be able to move that forward, and looking forward to hear more as it relates to comments or any other directions you may have.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Well, I'm going to try not to get emotional. I was good last week, and I didn't get emotional. This has been an urgently needed element missing from our community. And you've heard a lot about that from me. And thank you, Brian, for putting up with all of the times I bugged you. And oftentimes it was at these meetings in public. So now I need to turn that around. And thank you for exceeding my hopes, at least. And I just can't even imagine what this is going to mean to those children and their families and their siblings.
Yes, ma'am.
To this community, it's going to be on my list, a point of pride, if I ever get that list.
Good.
Go ahead.
Can I ask what the orange thing is in the lower left? It looks like trampolines or something. I just didn't know what that was.
That is actually an interactive sand play table. So again, those that are in wheeled devices, they're able to gather right there and interact in that sand play, and others joining them. Yes. So there are quite a few new features that are not found in our other park areas. So this is very exciting. It's very different, it's very interactive, and it's all intended to be in that way.
Mr. Woody, I forgot to ask last week, what's the total square footage?
It's roughly about 60 feet by 100 feet in total.
Great, thank you. Mr. Grossman?
Yeah, I think it needs to be repeated that all of the equipment in this playground is adapted and special needs, so you will have full able-bodied kids being able to play with those that are handicapped or special needs in any way. I just think it's great. I mean, even deaf kids, because they have the sign language posts up there. The presentation we had last week was great, and the pictures that you have tonight, really emphasize it. So this is something, it's going to be remarkable, and I just can't wait to see it done.
Well, thank you, sir. Yes, by definition, this is to be an inclusive environment, and that being all aspects. So we're very much looking forward to it, and to your comments earlier, point of pride, that's exactly what we're looking at with this. And I think it's a great showcase on our arterial component, our area of our community. So,
and as you know, sir, I have 3-year-old twins and a 9-year-old boy, and I like to consider myself kind of a playground connoisseur because we go to so many of them. And you certainly raised the bar with this one for the town of Presque Valley. I mean, it looks awesome.
Well, thank you.
And sir in the back, nicely done.
It's important for us to note that the family members of these children benefit also because they don't have places like this to take the children so they can maximize and enjoy their energy. So this isn't just for those children, it's for the whole family.
Right. I think that the beauty of the interaction here is that we're helping children understand, A, they do not need to be limited. They do not need to be viewed as limited, okay? And it creates that interaction. And everyone is able to enjoy, have fun, play, discover, interact, and grow. And that's what we're working to produce here.
And it's such a fabulous job, Brian. And it's wonderful to know how the community came into and had input into it. And it's just, it's just what Presque Valley is. We are a community, and we grow and learn from each other. And everything we've done in the last 40 years plus has been that way. Right. Great, fabulous job.
Well, thank you. We're looking forward to hopefully be able to go above and beyond. We have an underlying goal here through some grant applications that actually removes all of the engineered wood fiber, so the entire surfacing is pour in place, so that we provide as high of a level of accessibility as possible. So we're working towards that. We've already received indications in regards to some pledges to this project to bolster those dollars. So we're very excited about opportunities between tonight, possibly, as well as then in the short-term future of the project and its creation.
Councilman Anderson?
We began this process for having this accessibility equipment with George Anderson Park recently. And I would hope, and I see we're on the right track with this equipment, and I would hope that we keep in mind whenever we have to replace playground equipment that we're willing to add this type of the equipment for those children who are otherwise not able to use the standard equipment, because those children with special abilities need to also be able to use that kind of equipment to show those abilities. And I think if we want to see, we talked about our library earlier. being a focal point of a community. I think our parks also represent our community well, and I think that the quality of what we provide to those families will make a big difference in the growth that our community sees over the next several years. And I think that we're in a unique position right now to begin to set the stage for that growth. And I think this shows a positive trend towards that. So thank you very much, Brian.
You're welcome, sir.
With that being said, can we get a motion?
Could I have that honor, please? Motion to approve the purchase of playground equipment for the new Granville Park playground from Play It Safe Playgrounds via Mojave Contract 14X Play 0220, quote 7438, in the amount of $176,506.03. How did the 03 cents get in? By electronic vote.
I'll second.
Clerk, will you please call the vote?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Booty.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Item C, consideration of approving the award of a construction contract to the lowest responsive bidder, Cooper State Paving and Construction, LLC, in an amount up to $32,257, and approve the amendment to the town engineer agreement in the amount of $6,870 for the Glassford Hill Road / Pavway median project, CIP number S447. Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. We did discuss this at quite length, I think, in work study last week. So just wanted to point out a couple of highlights. This is what we call a median diamond. That gives you the geometry picture in your mind of what the enhanced access control we're moving forward with at the Pavway frontage road at Glassford. And the exhibit presented in front of you does show what a median diamond looks like. What it does, in short, it restricts access across and the lefts out of each side street. We've had quite a bit of interface and with our police department talking about the crashes we've had at this intersection. So we talked last week about we had a professional safety engineer complete a study last February 2018, and this is one of the recommendations that the operational efficiency of this intersection is really failing, and this enhancement was one of the recommendations. Gone through the public input, so it's been through, and it's a good recommendation, and what we will see is enhanced safety at this particular intersection. So what the item you have before you tonight is the award of a construction contract to local contractor, Cooper State Paving and Construction, for this median diamond construction for $32,257. In addition, as with all professional contracts, Dave & Associates has a construction amendment to oversee the survey and the construction management of the project, along with public works staff to see construction of this particular improvement. With a favorable award tonight by council, we look forward to this project getting started in the next couple weeks and being done within the next 30 days, and it'll be a much needed improvement. And like I said before, this is a cooperative effort between Public Works and the police department to recognize the crashes at the intersection and bring about better safety. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
I believe you covered most of it last week pretty thoroughly, so any questions? With that being said,
I'd like to make the motion to approve the award of a construction contract to the lowest responsive bidder, Cooper State Paving and Construction, LLC, in an amount of up to $32,257, and approve the amendment to the town engineer agreement in the amount of $6,870.
I'll second that motion.
ma'am, with a motion and a second, will you please call the vote?
Passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Item 11, comments from the public. Consideration and discussion of general... I'm sorry. Oh, why did I... Just hang on one second, please.
There was an amended agenda put out, Mayor.
You go ahead. I'm sorry, item number D, consideration of approving the proposed First Amendment to the Atena site lease with Allenex, including the First Amendment to the site sublease between Allenex and T-Mobile and landowner approval to expand a telecommunications facility on town property south of SR 69.
The Mayor and Council, the item you've got before you is a modification to a contract that we have today to provide cellular service. This is where the old water tank used to be on the town's property, right next to Peddler's Pass. And if next time you drive by there, if you haven't noticed it, there's a fairly large monopole that's there. There are additional apparatus that are desired there, as well as a land building that will go ahead and support improved cell service at that location. What this agreement actually intends is a sublease from All Links to another T-Mobile. And so we're going to be able to increase our rent at that particular location. And as you are well aware, we have cell towers on town property all over the town of Prescott Valley per our code. That it needs to be at a governmental site. So whether it's at the fire station, school district, or town property, that's where cell sites go. So in this particular case, pending your approval, we will be able to harvest additional dollars for the town.
Thank you, sir. Any questions, comments, Mr. Anderson?
Just a further comment that there may be people that are unaware of the fact that the reason that we put those towers on town property is because the money goes into the general fund and it benefits all taxpayers in Prescott Valley.
I got a question. Will other cell providers be able to tag along on that tower?
If they so choose, we have a process where they can contact our coordinator for that particular project, and they can work out deals with All Links on that site. There are certain limitations as to how many pieces of apparatus can go to a given site without having interference, and so that's up to those technicians to decide. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed First Amendment to the antenna site lease with All Links, including the First Amendment to the site sublease between All Links and T-Mobile and landowner approval to expand a telecommunications facility on town property south of State Route 69.
I'll second. Well, I'll second.
Clerk, will you please call the vote?
That passes unanimously, Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, item 11, comments from the public. Considerations and discussion of general unscheduled comments from the public. Those wishing to address the council need not request permission in advance. Any such remarks shall be addressed to the council as a whole and not to any member thereof. Such remarks shall be limited to 5 minutes unless additional time is granted by the mayor. At the conclusion of the unscheduled comments, individual members of the council may respond to the item addressed at the discretion of the mayor, or they may ask the town manager to review the matter or ask that the matter be placed on a future agenda. With that being said, sir, come on up.
Good evening. This is the first time I've done this. Name's Clyde Pruitt. My issue is with code enforcement, and not that they're doing bad, they need help badly. I've dealt with Mr. Lee Smith and Fernando for probably 4 years myself on issues in our neighborhood. I live in an older section of Prescott Valley, and it seems like it's just deteriorating more and more. When I go to code enforcement, sad to say, one of the last people I dealt with, they told me if I'm not happy with the situation and how the town is, maybe I should think about moving. That's a heck of a comment from somebody working for the township. But I don't know what we can do as far as getting the neighborhood cleaned up. There's myself and a few other neighbors that do go around. We give legitimate concerns to code enforcement, whether they go to one of the field officers or to Fernando himself. And unfortunately, it's the same handful of people, and I'm just trying to figure out what we can do to get I know we have police volunteers and stuff. Is there something we can do to get code volunteers to get somebody to go out and help, somebody ride around in their golf cart, their side-by-side, whatever it may take, logging, when you're out for your evening walk and you see somebody's got living in their RV on the side of the property, they move their kids in or whatever. Jot down an address, turn it into code enforcement. What can we do to hopefully keep our community from, especially the older neighborhoods? Yes, we're building beautiful new homes and everything, but for the people that are living here now in the older neighborhoods, it's a steady decline in the housing. And I'm a homeowner. I'm not going anywhere. My house is bought and paid for. I don't want to have to move, because my wife says she's not packing again. So I don't know, any comments or suggestions or what I might do?
Sir, thank you for your time. If you would just give your information over to the clerk, and Mr. Tarkowski will be able to reach out to you, and we can just go directly with him.
Let me give you my card, and give me a call when you have an opportunity, and we'll sit down and see what we can do.
I've spoken to you in the past. We'll do it again. Thank you, sir.
Sir, thank you for coming up. Is there anyone else? I'm guessing no. With that being said, we'll close comments to the public, and we'll move on to number 12, motion to convene into executive session in order to conduct the annual review and evaluation of the performance of the town clerk, Diane Russell. The executive session is scheduled pursuant to Arizona Revised Statute Section 38-431.03A1, which allows for discussion or consideration of employment, assignment, or appointment of a public officer, appointee, or employee. At this time, we'll ask to clear the room.